Hey Stitchers, your girl Chris here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel on social, where it's totally cool to obsess with sewing. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a roundup of my March sewing makes. So if that's something that you might be interested in, please keep on watching. Alright guys, so March was a little bit of a slow sewing month for me. I don't know, my spirit has just not been in it for the month of March, and so I ended up making only 4 things this month, which is a step down from January and February month makes. Nevertheless, we know that there are ebbs and flows in sewing as it is in any other aspect of life, and so I'm here to share with you what I did in fact get done throughout the month of March. So I started March by making something for somebody else. It was a commissioned piece and it was for an event that we were having during the St. Patrick's week of activities called Bruisey Brunch and Cara Edition. So a friend of mine wanted something made. She had in mind a 2-piece set using some gorgeous Ankara that she scored from a freak clothing store. So in order to help make her vision come to life, I started off by using McCalls M8179. I'll pop the picture in so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I hacked this pattern into a 2-piece set. Now I don't have the item here to show you because obviously I have already passed it on to its owner, but I did manage to record some footage before I handed it off to her. So I'm going to do a cutaway right now so I can share with you my thoughts on that make came up with. I'm going to go ahead and pop a picture in so you can see the inspiration for this make. Now, initially she wanted a straight or pencil sort of skirt, but once we had done our fitting and once the fabric had arrived, she had a change of heart. She was of the opinion that the straight skirt would not look as fabulous in this fabric, and so I decided to change it into a short gathered skirt, and I think she's pretty happy with the final result. Now I did take some time when placing my pattern at my bodice front, so you will notice that my bodice front, the pattern placement is symmetrical on both sides, and I also wanted to line up my waistband piece, especially in the center front of my waistband, with the center front of my bodice piece. I just felt like the eyes go immediately to the front portion of this make, and I wanted it to be pretty balanced in the center front. Now, I did not make any attempts to match like the sides of this bodice or the skirt sides or any of that, just because the fabric is pretty busy and I just didn't think it was necessary. And this is the back. I did grommets and a self tie at the back. Obviously, it's not zipped up because this is much smaller than my dress form, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what she looks like. Now, as far as the invisible zipper is concerned, I did go ahead and share a tutorial demonstrating how to install an invisible zipper in this very skirt. I also recorded some content for how to go about installing grommets, which I think by this time I have already shared on this channel. If it's up already, you guys, I'll go ahead and drop the link in so that you can find it. All right, guys, so that was the commissioned piece. Please be sure to let me know in the comments box down below what you thought of it. Did you think it was as cute as I did? I was really pleased with how it turned out, and even though we hit some hiccups along the way, I was happy that I was able to complete it in time and that she loved her final garment. So the second thing I made for the month of March was actually a collaboration piece with my girl Candice of We See Style. I'll be sure to go ahead and pop her handle in so you can go over and check out her make for the month of March. Now, we decided that we wanted to collaborate on wrap dresses because wrap dresses have been everywhere. I swear, you guys, every turn I turn, wrap dresses have been in my face. So much so that Sew Your View and Black Sewing Network also had a collaboration running throughout the month of March featuring wrap dresses. And would you guess, the wrap dress that I had chosen for the collaborative piece with Candice was one of the patterns that they were promoting for their collaboration as well. So this is the wrap dress pattern that I was working on. It's Butterick B5030. I'll be sure to go ahead and pop the image up just in case you can't see it so well from where I'm sitting. Now, this pattern has 6 different views, you guys, and I think I worked on view B. Was it view B? I think it was view B with view A's sleeves. The shorter sleeves, yes. I think it's view B with view A's sleeves. I did have to make quite a few adjustments to this pattern, both on the paper pattern when I traced it out, and again on the whim, just because my project was not turning out the way I envisioned. So I used a linen rayon blend to make this dress, and soft linens is actually a recommended fabric. But for some reason, you guys, my fabric just kept on growing and growing, and it required me to make some alterations on the whim. So this is my Butterick 5030. I'll be sure to go ahead and pop in some photographs or some twirls or something so that you guys can see what it looks like on. I feel like this dress was pretty well constructed. I finished off all my seams with my serger, and I enclosed the neckline and actually hand stitched it into place as per the pattern instructions. And I really, really like this fabric, you guys, but I'm not 100% satisfied about the fit of this dress. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I did share a full pattern review on this dress right here on my channel. So in case you missed it, I'll go ahead and pop the link in right here and down below in the description box so you can head on over and catch my full review on Butterick 5030 and find out just a little bit more about the collaboration I did with Candice. Now, the third piece I wanted to share with you for this month was my entry into the So Frugal 2024 challenge. So Frugal is a challenge that has been running for 4 years here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and it has been run by Ruan of the Yorkshire So Girl and Sam of So Frugalisma. I'm hoping I have pronounced them correctly, but I'll be sure to go ahead and pop in the handles so that you guys can find them both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. The So Frugal Challenge runs throughout the month of March, and it encourages sewists to use free patterns, that is, patterns available to anybody out there on these internets, and to draw from fabric already in your stash to come up with an amazing garment to enter into the challenge draw. Now, I was one of the vloggers this year for the vlogging tour. My date was March the 27th, and I showed up here on YouTube to share with you 5 free patterns that were hackable. Now, if you have been here for any time, or if you have been accustomed to me over there on Instagram, then you already know that I am crazy, crazy, crazy about pattern hacking. I just love to be able to put my unique spin on patterns that already have a good base foundation. And that is exactly what I ended up doing for my So Frugal entry. So I'm going to share it with you. The pattern that I decided to use was the Tessuti Fabrics multi-elastic waist skirt. Tessuti Fabrics was a new to me pattern company that I discovered back in 2023. I have used their pattern company already for the year to make the Hillary top, which I shared here with you on YouTube. Now, I still do have a discount code that is up and running for the Hillary top that gives you 20% off this pattern only, just in case you want to give it a go. Now, I think the pattern expires sometime during the month of May, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go ahead and double check and put it in the description box down below so that you can grab a copy of this pattern if you're interested in it before the discount code expires. So with that being said, I discovered that they had a free pattern, which is the multi-elastic waist skirt. And I thought it would be the perfect pattern for me to hack for the pattern hack, not for the pattern hackathon. What am I thinking about, you guys? I'm skipping ahead. The pattern hackathon is all the way in July, and it's run by me. The So Frugal challenge, and I thought it would be an amazing make. Now, I made my skirt using Ankara fabric, and in case you have not seen it already, you guys, this is my finished garment. So for my hack, I decided I wanted to shorten the arm skirt considerably. It is designed to be a midi length or perhaps a maxi length skirt depending on your height, but I knew I wanted to shorten it to at least my knee level. Now, truth be told, this skirt should be a little bit shorter by at least an inch. And it's because I forgot, you guys, when I was making the allowances for my hem, I actually made a 1.5 inch hem allowance on my fabric pieces. But when I went to sew my hem, I just did a narrow turned hem. So had I followed the hem allowance that I drafted it for, then this skirt would have hit me just above my knee, which is where I wanted it to hit initially. Notwithstanding, I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out, but I did hit some roadblocks in this make. Now, I have shared 2 videos featuring the making of this skirt, so I won't go into too much detail here, but I will go ahead and link them in the description box down below so that you can catch up on this make. Now, the first video in this make series featured the plans and shared with you how I was going to go about doing the hack, working out the dimensions. It did involve a little bit of math, you guys, so Beware, if you check it out and you're not a fan of math, there is some working out to get this skirt pattern to where it ended up. Now, part 2 of the series shared with you the big mock-up that I made with my skirt. All of the information on that mock-up is contained in part 2. So if you are curious, be sure to go over and check out what happened with my skirt and how I was managed to save it. Now, notwithstanding that I mocked it up, I'm really pleased with my finished skirt. It is bright and colorful, and I think it's a piece that will get tons of wear in my wardrobe. But now I think I need to go ahead and make some plain tops that I can wear with this skirt. So again, this is the Tessuti Fabrics multi-elastic waist skirt that I hacked into this gorgeous skirt right here. Now, my last make for the month of March is actually for the Make 9 2024 challenge. Yes, you guys, another challenge for me to share with you guys. So the Make 9 challenge has been going, I think this one has been running for at least 7 or so years, and it encourages creators of all kinds to plan out 9 different projects at the beginning of the year that they want to execute in that given year. So as a sewist, I selected 9 different garment types that I wanted to make throughout the year of 2024. Now, some people are a little bit more specific, identifying specific patterns that they want to use. Other people use fabrics that they want to use throughout the year. But as I said, I identified the 9 categories of garments that I wanted to sew for 2024. Now, one of my categories was dresses, you guys. Obviously, your girl could not go throughout the year of 2024 without making a dress for the Make 9 challenge. Now, I put a little extra spin on the Make 9 challenge for my particular challenge, and I am focusing on indie pattern companies, and even more so, indie pattern companies that are new to me. I want to venture a little bit more outside of my comfort zone this year. I feel like I'm much more comfortable now with sewing up the big 5 patterns just because I have gotten accustomed to their drafting and their pattern block. And I have figured out, for the most part, a lot of the adjustments that I need to make. But this year, I do want to push myself outside of my comfort zone a little bit and sew up some more indie pattern companies. So as part of that Make 9 challenge, I have decided to sew up the Delphina dress by the Petite dressmaker. So go ahead and drop in the line drawings or a picture or something so that you guys can see what the dress pattern looks like. Now, it does feature a V-neck line, and it has this cute little ruffle that is sandwiched in between the bodice and the skirt. Now, I have made mine using, yes, you guys, more Ankara fabric from a Freak clothing store. I swear I am not affiliated with a Freak clothing store, but I just love Cynthia's Ankara fabrics, you guys. I feel like the quality is just perfection. So as I said, I have made up the Delphina dress. This here is not 100% finished. There are lots of loose threads that still need to be cut off. The gathering stitches need to be removed and that sort of thing. But I am including it in the March mix because I did do most of the work for this dress in the month of March. Now, I did not have the amount of fabric that is recommended for this dress. And I am pretty tall. I am 5'8.5" tall. And I used all of the fabric that I had to try and cut out my dress. I did make a mistake when I cut out my bodice in that I had cut it with my fabric folded instead of cutting 2. It was just easier for me to butt it up to the fold line and then run my scissors through it and ended up with 2 different bodice pieces. But in doing so, you guys, I did not pay attention to the pattern placement. And when I sewed up my bodice, it was driving me crazy. I'll go ahead and pop the picture in so that you guys can see that I had a bullseye on one boob. Oh my goodness, I could not live with that. Now, funnily enough, I cut out my skirt piece on the crosswise grain because I did not have enough on the grain line in order to cut the skirt piece on the fold. Now, once I had cut out my 2 skirt pieces, the front and the back, I discovered that there was a small imperfection in my Ankara fabric. Now, this has never happened to me before. I've never received a piece of fabric from Cynthia that had an imperfection, but this imperfection I just couldn't ignore. There was a hole in my fabric right on the back of my skirt. So I ended up having to cut out one side of the skirt piece, and instead of sewing my skirt together as if it were on the fold, I did have to create a center back seam, which is not included in the pattern. But again, it's because I had an imperfection in one piece of my fabric, and I just did not have enough fabric to recut the back piece. Now, with a piece that had the imperfection on it, I was able to cut out the other piece of my front bodice so that I could fix the bullseye situation. Now, it's not perfect in my front seam, it's not pattern matched, but it is a hell of a lot better than having a bullseye on my boob. So you guys, I will take this. Now, because I didn't have enough fabric, I did have to go ahead and use just this white cotton fabric that I had in my stash to line my dress, and it's soft and it's gentle to the skin, so that was no issue for me at all. I tried on my dress, you guys, and it is a wee bit short. Now, I initially intended to wear this dress to work because it's black and white, but then all of this funky print meant that I could be cool in the office while still wearing office appropriate colors, which I sometimes ignore. But when I do follow the rules, it's always nice for me to have something that's popping like this dress. So as I was saying, it is a little bit short for the office. And so I have been contemplating adding a ruffle tier right at the hemline of my skirt in the same Ankara that I did the ruffle at my bodice. If you have not noticed, this ruffle insert right here is a different Ankara fabric to my main bodice and my skirt, and that was intentional. I did want to play with a little bit of print mixing for this dress, and I really, really like how it turned out. It's not too much in your face, but I think if you pay keen attention, then it is quite noticeable. So as I was saying, I have been toying with the idea of adding a ruffle piece at the hemline of my skirt just to add a little bit of length to the skirt and make it more office appropriate. Now, I haven't completely decided yet. I have been back and forth about it, whether I should leave this dress as is and just wear it out like shopping or, out for ice cream or things like that, or whether I need to add the additional tier so that I can make it work appropriate. So if you have any thoughts on that, please be sure to leave it in the comment box down below. Let me know, do you think I should go ahead and add a ruffle tier at the end of this skirt, or should I just hem it up as is? So you guys, those were my makes for the month of March. As I said, March has not been as productive as January and February were, but I just sort of hit some stumbling blocks in the month of March and I just could not get my head fully in the game. And it meant that I went days at a time without so much as looking at my sewing machines. And that is not unheard of, but unusual for me. And I'm hoping that throughout the month of April, I can pick back up some of that steam that I let off during the month of March. Let me know, you guys, in the comment box down below, how do you guys deal with it when your sojo sort of hits a roadblock? I pushed through, but my spirit was just not in it as it was in the months of January and February. And so, as I said, I don't have as much to show you this month as I have had in the last couple of months. I woke up this morning with the Mimi G Jessica dress pattern on my mind. I did see her share it over on Instagram quite recently, and she was offering it as a free PDF pattern download. Now, I picked up the Jessica dress pattern many moons ago. I feel like early on in my sewing days, and I think I made this pattern at least 5 or 6 times early on in my sewing journey, but I haven't picked it up in, let's say, the last 2 or 3 years. So when I saw her post about it on her Instagram, I immediately figured I need to go ahead and make up another iteration of the Jessica dress, and maybe, fingers crossed, April will be the month for a new Jessica dress addition to my wardrobe. So you guys, that is all I wanted to share with you for my March sewing roundup. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go on and give me a thumbs up. Drop me some comments down below and let me know what you thought of my makes for the month. What is your favorite make for this month? And what did you guys think of my commissioned piece? I'm really curious to know, because sewing for others is much more difficult than sewing for myself. And so I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on that commissioned piece. Now, if you have made it this far into my video and you are not yet a subscriber, please consider hitting the subscribe button and turning your notifications on so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. I mean, subscriptions cost you absolutely nothing, but they do guarantee you a spot right here with me in my sewing community on YouTube. And I love and appreciate having you guys here with me from week to week to week. So that's it, folks. So until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.